I'm going to show you how to make these microwave-style hardcore kicks inside Serum 2. This type of movement is everywhere right now in modern hardcore. And honestly, most people think it's just distortion, but the real secret is movement and modulation. That's what gives these kicks that unstable, aggressive texture. So let's build one from scratch. I'm starting from the init preset. First thing I always do is turn the random all the way down. I want the transient hitting the same every single time. Then I change oscillator A to this wavetable right here, and oscillator B is just going to be a sine wave acting as the body of the kick. Right now, it sounds super basic. But the movement starts here. I'm creating a super short LFO in envelope mode, and I'm using that to bend the pitch really aggressively at the start, not just on oscillator A, also on oscillator B and the main tuning. That super fast pitch movement is what gives the kick that unstable attack. And honestly, this is already where most people go wrong. They focus too much on distortion and random layers instead of building movement into the sound itself. Then I create another envelope just to shape the tail a little bit more. Nothing crazy, just enough so the kick doesn't feel static. After that, I turn on filter 1, but only for oscillator B. And this part matters a lot, because the Formant movement starts giving the kick that weird metallic texture. I'm using Formant 3 here, messing with the cutoff, resonance, and drive until it starts sounding broken in a good way. Then I create another envelope for the filter mix and the oscillator level. So now the sound is constantly opening and collapsing really fast. This is where it starts getting aggressive. Next, I'm using wrap distortion inside oscillator B, and this adds a ton of extra harmonics without completely destroying the transient. Then I create another short envelope for oscillator A level. Again, more movement. Now for the effects section. First, I'm adding a Combs filter. This is what starts adding that metallic resonance. Then a phaser with almost no rate. I'm not really using it like a normal phaser. I just want a little bit of weird stereo movement. And now, this is the part that actually creates the microwave effect. I'm boosting this frequency around 76 Hz. Then I map an LFO to the gain. So now the low frequency is constantly moving up and down really fast. That movement right there is what gives it that unstable microwave feeling. And to exaggerate it even more, I'm boosting another super narrow band around 700 Hz and mapping the exact same LFO. This adds that screaming resonance on top. After that, I'm adding diode distortion. Then multiband compression to tighten everything together and push the highs harder. And finally, utility, just to keep the low end mono. Now watch how different the kick sounds just by changing the LFO amount. You can get completely different textures from the exact same patch. I can also push oscillator B 1 octave higher. Turn on soft clipping, or even add hyperdimension for a wider texture. And if you want more room for the transient later, you can even use kickstart really lightly. Somewhere around 20 to 40% usually works pretty well. Honestly, this is exactly why I always say, system, not random sounds. Because once the movement is already built into the sound, designing drops becomes way easier. Anyway, if you want to check out the presets, generators, racks, and tools I use for this kind of hard techno sound design, check the Ultimate Bundle in the description. That's how you turn sound into power.